Good evening, everybody.
Good evening, everybody out there, podcast land. Good evening, Cece.
Good evening, baby.
I apologize, y'all. Eating, finally feeling a little better. I made my little post today about being under the weather. Apologize, we've been up and down. Um, we always obligated to our commitment. We do the best we can all the time, but sometimes you need to just talk to my wife. My wife is out, would say overly protective, and she would just say being a damn wife. So sometimes before everything throws me down and knocks me down, she sits me down. So what I did is let's get into our prayer so we can get into the show. Father God, thank you for the wonderful things that's going on in all our lives. Father God, we always start off our prayer dealing with everybody that's over there fighting them God-forsaken wars in which we may be getting ready to enter in another one. Losing mothers, fathers, sisters, brothers, aunts, uncles, nephews, nieces, losing friends, losing family, losing sight, losing limbs, losing relationships, just losing, Father God. Please keep the people over there, the soldiers that's making a way for us, our safety, and everybody that has anything to do with it. Father God, we always pray for the persons in armed forces, everybody that protects us, firefighters, security officers, nurses, doctors, anything that has something to do with a person making a commitment to just protect someone else, meaning us. Excuse me. Father God, we always make sure we keep our special prayer going on for everybody and everything that's dealing with this God-forsaken pandemic. Father God, we are doing a lot better with all the different strains and variants, but we still have a ways to go. Father God, we're always reminded by Gina, Rosanna, Dana, and this. We are sometimes living in what's known to us as biblical times, where we're fighting famine. We're fighting disasters. We're dealing with tsunamis. We're dealing with tidal waves, storms. We're dealing with just the pandemic. Gina Lee says at one time the largest wildfire in the history on record of the world was burning in the coldest region on earth. Those two things to us, at least to me, Father God, don't make sense. Father God, keep us safe. These blessings and all blessings we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Okay, Rosanna, Dana, Anna, Gina, y'all will be joining us. Now, y'all, excuse me, it was nibbling a little bit because I'm finally able to try to eat something. But let me tell you something. When I don't feel well, I get a lot of that homemade soup around here. My wife makes soup to die for. My wife is an awesome cook. She has some attributes and stuff that I'm really happy for that she has. Thank you. Shout out to my mother-in-law, Denise Arrington, who just had a hand in teaching her to cook. But my wife is real determined to do the best thing she can about health. You know, I don't know if y'all notice it. Rosanna, Dad, Anna,
Gina Lee.
how are you?
I'm okay.
Always
How are
glad to
you?
have you here. Thank you for jumping in. And we're gonna get back to our another thing. We're gonna get back to spotlight on small businesses soon. You know, hopefully tomorrow we'll be able to do this because we're getting our format together. But once again, I apologize. I've been sick, but I'm gonna tell you something. Shout out this shameless self promotion. Well, you obviously Cece's ears, so she represents Gina every time we on anywhere, and Gina represents herself. They always got some. Hey, baby.
Hey, there's a
Hey,
Gina.
yeah, they always got some paparazzi on, but Gina and Cece wear Nature Secrets product. I mean, both of their faces look so clear. My wife, I laugh. Gina rips and runs a lot, so she's healthy whether she like it or not. You know what I mean? Yeah, but yeah. You stand up out there in that damn cold. I don't care if you crossing guards. And while we on that, shout out Gina Lee to your she's part of your co-worker because the lady that pushed the child out the way so that they didn't get hit by the car. Hands up, hands up, hands up. That's my topic for today. I didn't even. It's amazing how we take things for granted. I wanted to comment on that lady who who a selfless act, you may not have noticed that. You may not have really looked good at it because they have it going so fast, but real talk, she literally saved that child's life.
Yes.
Yeah. You may not have really noticed it. I want you to really look at it when you did. That car would have hit that child. That car would hit that child. She grabbed that child. She put her hand out there and pulled herself back. If not, that child would have been in front of her. If that car hit her hand, that would have been that child, and she would have got the whole brunt of that. She literally saved that child's life, probably, to me. How you doing, neighbor?
Good evening, Sheila.
Yeah, we grew up with crossing guards and stuff in our neighborhood, and we all were like Gina. We all knew them. We knew the crossing guards. They were the same people there forever. But real talk, it's, my topic today is Pastor Rhonda says, give them their flowers. What does that say?
She said the driver should have been charged. Sheila said the driver should have been charged.
Yeah, we can, but
Hey, Sean.
Hey, Sean, my friend. I'm more impressed with the fact that she stood right there, took her medicine. The driver stopped. He was remorseful as can be. Water comes in my heart. I'm getting ready to cry. Sugar Mama, good evening.
Hey, Sugar Mama, good evening.
We out here hitting hard. The A team is there with us. But you have people here that's going through stuff. Sugar Mama's and advocate for schools and these kids and education. Her children mean everything to her. But anyhow, that person that grabbed that child and pulled her over is a hero. Just a crossing guard by name is a hero. Kiana Holly, just a cop by name, is a hero. You feel me? Firefighters, firefighters, Jack. Yeah. What's up? They sit upstairs. They lay around and sleep most of the time and go to a bunch of false alarm, getting good money. You know what I mean? Then they up there dying in buildings. It's a hero. These persons over there fighting wars is a hero. Yeah. Gina Lee standing over there is a hero. We got people that's heroes out there. You know what I mean? We downplay what they're doing because it hasn't really happened to us. You don't know. Till it happens to you. People don't know about tragedy and trauma. You know what I mean? Till you have someone that's murdered. Oh yeah, man, they need to stop killing people involved. Man, that's all you say till you get up and it's your brother.
Yeah.
Shout out, sorry to put Sean's business out there. Sean lost a son to violence in Baltimore. Lost a grandson to violence in Baltimore. CC lost a brother to violence in the penal system. You know what I mean? There's people out there that's just, man, it's people over there, guards that are over there dealing and watching your child over there in the penal system that are subject to getting murdered at any time, physically or mentally. You work in them godforsaken jails that we come from, you get murdered every day with abuse.
Yeah.
Murdered every day. You're psychologically screwed up. You don't trust nobody. Anybody come behind me, make any kind of noise. Y'all know I carry a gun. Y'all know I carry that gun. When I keep that gun, you know what I mean? I'm nervous. I reach for that thing all the time. Cece, let's tell them about last night. We came in from my daughter's house and my daughter's son-in-law watching some television, enjoying ourselves, having a drink or two. And we pulled up at our house, not anything but it's a truck in my driveway, Party Marty's Moon Bouncer, shameless self-promotion. And you couldn't see around the truck. And the people came over. What were they delivering, Cece? Packages, right?
Right. Amazon delivery.
Amazon. But she pulled up, she don't know. She pulled up, and all I know is here go a car that came out, I think, but then they didn't get out quick. So I'm telling my wife, I said, all right, I'm letting my wife go. But my wife is not really paying much attention to that. She's saying she got the dog. Let the dog go to the bathroom before the dog go in the house. Our normal routine. I'm trying to tell her, go in the house. And she's like, Cookie need to use the bathroom. You feel me? But in my mind, my West Baltimore sick mind, I'm thinking, they got pulled up behind us. They're in the car. They're not moving. What's going on? You feel me? So me, Sean, everybody out there, my natural instinct is to protect my wife. And what's going on right now? The one time that we run over there for a minute and come back, what's up? No gun. First thing in my mind, I think about, oh, that's all right, Jack, I got it. Now, because I ran over my daughter's house real quick, we only going over there for half an hour to see our mother. I ain't take the gun. And just that time, just that one little split second, I could have been slipping. You feel me? I'm saying to you, there was an incident that happened to me. That little situation has never happened to us, has it, see?
Right.
What Sean said, baby, keep it going.
He said we pay attention to everything around us.
Yeah. That's something.
He said watch your surroundings.
They didn't know. They turned around and said, hey, how y'all? Here's something. They got arms full of packages. Matter of fact, it looked to me like they could have been robbers. They got masks on. Everybody, Gina, everybody got a mask. It's 7 o'clock at night. It's dark as shit. They turn the corner with packages, big old boxes of CC order. Now my wife don't even go to the store for toilet paper. They got a box. One of them got a box of toilet paper. Always remind, yeah. One of them got a box of toilet paper. One of them got a box of paper towels. Two females, so they like this. And then they got packages on them. Hey, Jack, Sean, that could be the fake out to me. That could be the fake out to me. First thing in my mind, that gun. Now that I don't have that gun, I'm telling my wife to go ahead. You know what I mean? She's not catching to go ahead because she holding the dog, Gina. The dog using the bathroom. Just the same pattern, the same routine. We get out of the car, the dog pee every time before we go in the house. You get what I'm saying? So now, let me say this to you. That was a situation that I had to make a decision on real fast one time. It's sad, but it seems to have to think the worst to stay on point. Real talk, baby. That was something that happened to me one time real fast. That happens to us, CC, Sean, rest of us, and work for a living all day, every day. We work in mental institutions. We work at Shepherd Pratt, Dungy Glass, Clifton T. Perkins. I'm an armed security officer. We're vulnerable and subject to assault 24 hours that we're there.
Sean said some of us been through a lot, Party Marty, and you're right, coming from the streets.
Yeah, it happens, man. Back to my point. Back to my point. To all y'all out there, you firefighters, thanks. You crossing guards, thanks. You soldiers, thanks. You police officers, thanks. You mail people, thanks. You regular cops, whatever you are, that's making it that we're able to walk around and live our ritzy life and put our little cute glasses on and play with the dogs and cats and go out for drinks and stuff like that. That's making me, my family, my friends, the world safe. Fucking thanks.
Yeah,
I always tell everybody thanks when they dead, when they're shot down. Oh, we even trying to figure out what happened when somebody has a gun.
Yeah.
I open this up because my wife, I'm segueing in. I'm getting back on track to being me with my segue, Gina, and see, I'm segueing in on stuff like that now. I used to be real nice with the segue. I lost that, but I'm segueing in now because my wife's topic is the same thing. And I just want to let you know the decisions that a person makes with a gun permit. With a gun permit. You're an armed person with a gun permit. They permit you to carry a gun, and then you're penalized, shot down sometime, and killed because you have the gun, even though you have a gun. That person turned the corner. If they couldn't turn the corner too fast, you feel me? Or it's a big 6-foot guy, Sean, wide as I don't know what, say something. Yeah, Jack, what's up, B? You know what I mean? I ain't got time for that. Yeah, Jack, what happened? I ain't do it. Man, what happened was I'm banging that gun. I'm banging that gun. That little incident that happened fast. And it didn't even hit Cece till I said, go ahead, C. Now, while C, what she's catching was going on, she never seen the people turn the corner. She ain't paying no attention to him turning the corner, pulling up. because our neighbors pull up the same way, but they pull up and they pull up further in front of their house. These people didn't pull in front of their house. They pulled behind the truck. That's suspect, Sean. That's suspect, Sugar Mama. That's suspect, everybody. That's suspect to me. You feeling me? They suspect. Right then, if and I got that gun, it would no longer been in my dip, it would have been in my hand. I'm not saying I'd start shooting, but it would have been in my hand. It would have been in my hand. It'd been no more longer in that holster. It'd have been the party's hand. You know what I mean? And when they turned, it wouldn't have been down so somebody could talk. It'd have been pointed at them. Now I make a conscious decision. I don't just squeeze and fire, but I don't wait around with my gun because they ain't waiting to pull their ass out. Y'all, that lady to us is just the lady that's a crossing guard. Gina will tell you for an hour and a half to 2 hours a day. That's all that they out there. I wouldn't give a damn how much money you make. If you only working an hour and a half, 2 hours in the morning, hour and a half, 2 hours in the evening, you ain't getting rich. I don't give a damn how much they pay. You ain't getting rich. You got to have a commitment to stand out in the fucking freezing rain. Excuse me, podcast land. You got to have a commitment to go out there and stand there. I get cold going from my car to start it and come back in the house. Gina, from the moment they told me to stand out there in the freezing rain for an hour and a half, I quit. I real talk, I quit. Gina's retired. Gina's my age. Gina's collecting Social Security, and Gina's retired. Gina's not getting rich being a darn crossing guard. She's not. She's not. She's an actress. She's retired from the state. Who knows, 20, 30 years probably. How many years, Gina?
37.
37 years. You owe me some lunch. You're taking me out. You getting that? You getting more than me and Cece, damn it. 37 years from the state. And so she's doing it because she likes it. She's doing it because she feels a need for it. Somebody's got to do it. In the summertime, hanging out, kicking it is me. In the wintertime of the freezing rain, it's not me. That person out there was a hero. She saved that child's life. That person that ran into a burning building where everybody that owns something of value came running out with an axe in his hand with a wooden handle and lost their lives is a hero. It's a hero. So when we run over there, man, them cops, everything they doing, Jack, you know what I mean? They busting them guns. You got to watch them cops. Let me tell you something. My son's a cop. He ain't got 2 heads. He ain't from Mars. Got 30 fingers. You don't run around just pistol whipping people. Y'all, these people that are out here, civil servants, making commitments for us. Marilyn Mosby is. I said, she gonna need a good lawyer. And my wife told me something. Me and my dumb self. You do know that she's the #1 lawyer in the state. That's what the state's attorney is. Do you know I never put it together? The novelist like me, I own up to my shortcomings. I said, man, they're going to try to jam her. When they were talking about, she said this, she shouldn't have said that. I told my wife she shouldn't have said it. She said, Maurice, Marilyn Mosby, you know what the hell she's saying? I said, I don't know why her lawyer let her do it. She said, she's a lawyer. I guess what my dumb ass said. She is. The dumbest thing that could have came out of my mouth after I said it. I said, well, she's a lawyer. She's a state's attorney. You know what that means? She's the attorney for the state. You idiot party, you. She know the law, you idiot. That's what a state's attorney is. Root word attorney. You idiot. So sometimes we take positions and jobs and titles and situations and surroundings for granted. Everybody's post the same thing. Sugar Mom, beware your surroundings. Sheila, watch this. Sean, that's how we live. You know what I mean? Hey, BB, everybody out there is posting the same thing. Beware of your surroundings. Beware of your surroundings. My wife has nice rings on her hand. Don't mean anything to me when I go out. Don't mean anything to her. You never know if a chump want a ring.
These skunks out here is something. So I'll bring this home. Tell the Gina Lees, the crossing guards, that they're doing a good job. Thank you. Gina Lee play, we call them maids. Valona called it household technician. You gotta see that play. I'm sorry, that play is over. That play was so awesome. What it had such an awesome message. I pray it returns. I pray that when we have our next cookout, that somewhere along the line you'll be in my house. You'll get to see it again. We'll reenact that play again. That was awesome. You have people out there with thankless jobs. With thankless jobs. And all they do in the mental health field is tell us the same thing. They tell us the same thing. What did you do wrong so I can write you up, suspend you, or fire you? You're on your way to human resources. Were you watching when the kid was crossing the street? Did you have this whole sign on the right angle? Gina Lee told me they checked her credentials for over a month. There, she got carte blanche for the state with 30 or 40 years. You know how many times they checked me to be a Lyft driver? I got every credential there is. I have an armed security. I was Baltimore City Child Protective Services transportation supervisor. I transport children. I can put them in your house or take them from your house. But yet you didn't trust me. Hey, cuz, yo, these people out here with these God-forsaken jobs, I'll get back to you about my second part. Yo, tell them thank you when you can. As Pastor Rhonda says, give them their flowers when you can. That person right there, to us, is just a lady that drives, that takes the people back and forth across the street. When we needed that person was a hero. That person was a hero. When Gina needs to be there, I'm sure Gina will be a hero. I come in there and pick up fights with patients that are trying to hurt each other. A hero. My wife is going to tell you about a situation. She's going to post what she's talking about. And I want you to think about it. And I want you to be objective. And I want some comments on this situation that she's talking about. But I want you to think about myself, because I segue in. How quick a person is with a gun. Bless you, Steve. I have a gun carry permit. I have a permit to carry a gun. So when you run over there and run up on me, not just society, but police officers, I'm worried every time that you around me, even though I got a permit to carry a gun. When you listen to Cece tell her story about her next topic that's coming up, I want y'all to post your opinions, and I want you to be not only objective, be subjected to this, because somebody lost their life. Cece, what's your topic? Let's talk.
Good evening, everybody. The topic I wanted to talk about tonight was Amir Locke, who is a young man in Minneapolis, yes, that was killed during the
I don't mean to cut you off, but we call it Minneapolis.
It's Minneapolis.
We know that, but we people that don't read like me, we call it Minneapolis. Baltimore. Go ahead, see. My bad.
The young man was killed during the execution of a no-knock warrant. Now, the reason that, like Maurice was saying, he was in his own house. They came in with a key in the middle of the night to execute a no-knock warrant, and he was laying on the sofa under the blanket, and he grabbed his gun because he was startled out of his sleep. His gun that he did have was licensed. It was his licensed weapon. And he grabbed his gun, and they shot him because he had his gun in his house, and he wasn't even named on the warrant. So he was shot 3 times, and he was killed. And one of the things that made this, yes, it definitely was a very, very sad case, because, just laying in your house sleep, you know what I'm saying? What would it make anybody think that they wouldn't be safe doing that? You You did do. This was a case of somebody who did everything right. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't an illegal firearm. He wasn't carrying it on the street when he wasn't supposed to carry it. He wasn't brandishing it, threatening somebody. He was just in his house. We had the gun for protection in his house. Somebody was in his house in the middle of the night, and he didn't know who it was. Since it was a no-knock warrant, he didn't know who it was. He knew they ain't had no business being there. So he reinforced weapon.
i.e. the reason for the gun.
Exactly. And the thing that's just startling to me is how all these incidents keep happening in Minnesota. What's going on in Minnesota? What's going on in Minneapolis? You know, are they just that threatened when they see a black man, just even one that's laying under the cover sleep? I mean, it's just George Floyd, Dante Wright. Now we have this one, you know, and this is just so unfortunate because this is especially disturbing because I can really see both sides.
Exactly.
I can really see both sides of this because the police didn't have time to say, is it licensed? All they know is they see somebody grab a gun and they reacted. Probably according to what their training is. You know, Sugar Mama said he was at a friend's house sleeping over with a licensed gun and he never pointed it to them even after being woken up out of his sleep. So sad. Yeah.
You know, and excuse me, before you get back to yours, the catch is he swung that gun over to fire it.
Right.
Because he thought he was being assaulted.
Right.
And can you imagine how you startled with a gun? Like I'm saying, I'm outside and aware of my surroundings when they came up with me, and I would have reached for my gun. He in the bed asleep.
Mm-hmm.
He's in the bed asleep. You feel me? And you know, I say that because I want to see both sides. When he came and pulled the gun out, if I'm a police officer, guess what? I probably would have shot too. You feel me? Bad things happen to good people. It happens so fast, y'all. You can be aware of your surroundings and still make a mistake. You can be aware of your surroundings. You can do everything right, people, and still make a mistake. I apologize, Steve. Get back to you.
Right, and that's right, because that was a life or death situation for both parties. Because just like you said, he didn't know that was the police. He grabbed the gun to shoot whoever was coming in there.
Exactly.
You know? So that was self-defense on both sides, you know. So it's really no, you know, in this particular situation, you know, it's always sad the loss of life, but at the same time, it's no clear winner here. There's no person that can be clearly blamed, like in these other cases where we say, okay, knee on the neck, you're wrong. You know what I'm saying? Taser instead of the gun, you're wrong. You know, but in this case, it was like a life or death situation on both sides. The police officer had to make a choice, him or me, at this point. So it just makes it especially sad. But my whole issue, Sugar Mama said, and to play devil's advocate, I can't see the officer side because when you enter a home unannounced and startle a person that sleeps, you have to know it's a possibility. If someone has a licensed weapon, chances they will try to defend themselves. Very, very true. Very true.
But Sugar Mama, let me see. I'm playing devil's advocate with you too. The guy did brandish the gun. He was swinging that gun around. He was pulling that gun out. He may not have had time because they was on him. And listen, if you're a police officer, Sugar Mama, he's at work. They told him, "Come on, here's what we're doing. We're going into this house. We're going to do this." They come in with weapons drawn. And you know what I mean? Somebody else sends you in there. I apologize. See, let me finish. Somebody sends you in there. You can't. It's a split-second decision. You can't sit back and say, "Wait a minute, ho." If you say ho with the guns they shooting now, he gonna be to hit 5 people. You feel me? He's swinging that gun. He got the gun in his hand. Don't forget it. He had the gun in his hand. He didn't reach for the gun. He had the gun in his hand and firing he had it prepared to fire. I'm a licensed gun person. You hold your finger on the side of the barrel and your other finger down here. They showed his gun on the side of the barrel. He's coming up to swing that thing to bang. So they thinking, and they thinking, and he under the covers. So, you know, it happened real fast. I apologize, see.
They said it all happened in a matter of 9 seconds. So
Yeah.
the Sugar Mama said the warrant was for property, not a person, so laws need to be changed. You shouldn't have a no-knock warrant for that. And that was bringing me to the whole point. You're right, Sugar Mama, but the whole point that I'm trying to make about this situation is that the devil here is the no-knock warrant.
Exactly.
You know? That's the real issue, is the no-knock warrant, because they said, from what I read, the no-knock warrant was being executed for a person, but it was for somebody in another county, that it was a murder suspect or somebody, that the homicide suspect that they were looking for. You know, so the issue is, why are they issuing so many of these no-knock warrants? And in Minnesota, they said that after George Floyd's death, that they were supposed to have put some kind of moratorium or something on these no-knock warrants, but they said that they've already issued 12 over 12 no-knock warrants since January, and we just in the beginning of February. So how many were they issuing at first? You know, before the moratorium went into effect, and then everybody want to come out. You know, the New York Times did an investigation and said that 81 civilians and 13 law enforcement officers have died in no-knock and quick knock raids between 2010 and 2016. 81 civilians and 13 law enforcement officers. That number is startling and it's very troubling. And I just don't understand what the devil here is. This is some poor legislation. This is something that needs to be taken care of on the legal side, because they can't. I mean, these no-knock warrants are dangerous on both sides. They're dangerous for the police officers and they're dangerous for the civilians, because at any time, if somebody come running in your house and don't announce themselves, that's just a recipe for disaster. You know, I know that they have some extreme cases where it's the element of surprise is best on their side, speaking of law enforcement, but it's just a dangerous policy all the way around. And I just don't agree with it. And I really think that some of these places really need to revisit not only the fact that they have the no-knock warrants, but the frequency with which they use them. That should be a rarity, and it should be for an extreme emergency or extreme situation. But it shouldn't just be willy-nilly anytime you want to execute a warrant that you get a no-knock warrant. They should be difficult to get, and they should be executed sparingly, I believe.
Hey, Gina, before you get in there, I want to give you this as some ammunition to talk to. You know, they said at one time, I think this was it 2 years ago, they had 1,500 no-knock warrants were issued. And then last year it was over 5,400, something like that. First it was 1,500 in 3 years or something like that. And last year they had over 5,000. You need to get in there. Comment?
Well, when I hear this story or heard this story and hear you bring in, you know, all the details, of course, the first thing that goes through my mind is Breonna Taylor.
Correct.
That's the first thing that goes through my mind. And I say to myself, the situation that they found themselves in, where, you know, her boyfriend was in there, he heard someone coming through the door, and he was trying to protect, you know, his girlfriend his home, and he strikes the officer in the leg. Okay, so they just open fire and kill her. Okay, she sleep.
Mhm.
So when they go to court, who gets money? The neighbors, because they damaged their walls.
Mhm.
So I'm sorry, but I really think that this is designed, the whole no-knock system is designed
To
to
fail.
take out whoever is on premises,
Mhm.
Wow.
whether you are the suspect or not. You
Boy,
know,
if you
because
watching Simply Us tonight, you learning something, because I know I am.
if you think about it, nobody that's been killed in these no-knock warrants has had any justice that we've heard about.
And all of these cases that we hear about, they always wind up killing the wrong person.
Exactly. Nobody.
They
I
never
never heard
find
anybody.
they never get the person that that's on the warrant. They
Right.
always wind up killing some innocent person.
Yep. I mean,
I
you
never,
know,
I
the
never
Breonna
really
Taylor
thought
case.
about it.
The
I
Breonna
never
Taylor
thought
case.
about it. Yeah.
They was at the wrong apartment.
Right.
They were after the people that the person that they killed was the wrong person.
Right.
Where's the justice? Where's the justice?
Right.
You
Absolutely.
When
know,
you saw them,
and you have, I mean, nobody is held accountable. Not the judge, not the police, nobody. So that whole system is, to me, needs to be taken down completely, not revamped, because I feel like this. You remember how many movies have we watched where if the person was looking for somebody, what they do? Stake out the place, right?
exactly.
Have
Mhm.
time to do that, but you can't wait until whoever it is that's in there comes out. You can't do that.
Right. And if you're doing a no-knock warrant, your due diligence should be above and beyond. You know, just like with Breonna Taylor. I mean, you executing a no-knock warrant, and you didn't even do due diligence enough to make sure you had the right address, and nobody saw gross negligence there. You know, if no other thing that they should have charged them for. I mean, that was the definition of gross negligence.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Now that being said, y'all, let's play devil's advocate. You know, we march, we burn the city down, we want everybody locked up. How do we see this one? How do we see this one? We're going to start with Gina's opinion. Then I'm gonna give you mine. Then Gina, and since it's CC's topic, she'll end it, because really the officers were in there. The officer that probably fired them wasn't the big shot. They didn't have the colonel. He wasn't the ranking officer, the first one through the door. They sent the private. He sent the foot soldier in. So all he saw was a gun. He was told that this person was there as a murderer. He was told that we're here to get a warrant to arrest somebody there who's already killed. And now he's under the covers. We were breaking there. Here's this murderer with this gun again, with the gun swinging towards me. And I've been an officer for 2 months. What do I do? Do I die? Now remember, I own up to my shortcomings. One of my many shortcomings is my brother Arnie Barney, rest in peace, always had a saying: I ain't gonna be the last damn person with blood on their shirt. I'm telling you right now. We can talk about back in the day. Remember, CCB and Gene, we had stuff. We say squash it. It's over with. I don't even say we ain't squashing. No, I ain't the last person bleeding, and y'all talk about squash it. I'm gonna get my lick back. I'm gonna get my lick back. You hit me, I'm gonna hit you back. I ain't gonna be the last one. Y'all ain't bank me, and I'm bleeding, and then we talk about let's talk about it, squash it. All right, let's squash it after I bust your head. So you know, I'm just saying, devil's advocate. I don't know about this one. Going to court, you know, Cece made a good point. I like the way she put it. This ain't. I thought it was a taser. You know what I mean? It was a gun. This ain't. I got your foot on your neck for 9 minutes. You know what I mean? This ain't. I shot a person way over there. Boy shot me, and I shot a body over in the bed. What the hell? You shot her? You knew which way the gunfire was coming from. Her boyfriend shot you. Baby father, whatever shot you. You still shot her, like Gina said. This was somebody that swung a gun out when you was looking for a guy that you already looking for murder that kills people. And right now, police officers are getting killed. And like I'm saying, I just give you both sides of it because my son is a police officer, sheriff. Now, he ain't just somebody that was a cop looking for a job. My son got a wall full of degrees, too. He's an educated young man. His wife is an educated young lady. They having their first child. Just bought their first house. I don't want my son in jail and prison and stuff for something that you went and told him to do. They probably followed. Gina was saying it best. Cece was saying it best. That officer that shot that guy followed his training and the letter of the law. He did everything right. The system was wrong. The no-knock was wrong. The person that sent them in there was wrong. Not surveillance was wrong. The judge was wrong. He didn't do nothing. He didn't do nothing this time. But follow what you said. They turned, they wheeled. He saw a gun. He's probably hollering, stop, stop, stop. He kept turning, bang, bang, bang. Because as we're saying, you all, remember, he was asleep. He woke up from his sleep. He wasn't thinking that this was happening. He had 9 seconds from start to finish. The sad part about it is, hey, cuz.
Helen said I shouldn't have the 3 shots. I'm concealed and carry. Shouldn't have happened.
What did it say? It shouldn't have to 3 shots yet. But baby, but let me just cut. But that's my big cousin there. Because here's the only catch about it. So a lot of y'all don't know. I carry a 9. My gun of choice is a Glock. Police carry Glocks. We all carry the same weapon. That's a gun of choice. You can't fire one time with a Glock. You can't pull the trigger one time. It won't stop. If you pull it, it's gonna fire 3 times anyhow. The weight of the thing, bang, bang, bang. It's gonna fire 3 times. If you squeeze the Glock one time, y'all, if anybody doesn't know, it's not a revolver. It doesn't hit in the chamber, move, or nothing like that, like in the Westerns. It doesn't click and then click and click. It's pop, pop, pop. In a period of 3 seconds, I can fire all, I would say 4 seconds, I can fire all 16 rounds out of my gun. And I would be to really pull the trigger 3 times. Pow, 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 pow. You know, it's just not, that's a good point, because thank you for chiming in. That's a good point, but it's just not easy as that. My son would never do it because he's an officer, but one of these things, you know, I would like an officer to give us some of their opinion and stuff on this. I give you mine because I got a gun carry permit. I'm an officer. I walk around with a gun. I do armed security. So I know I'm certified, qualified to be an expert talking about guns. I can go to court and say what happened. You know, it's quick. The guy came out with, so they saw the gun coming from under the covers, and they were looking for somebody that already killed somebody else. Do you want to die? Do you want to go home? You know, it happened. I just like the fact that when we came up with this, when Cece came up with the topic, I never said this to my wife, but I really feel proud about my team getting together, Simply Us crew. I really feel proud about this because this is what I was praying. And as what's his name? Murray. Who's the baby daddy?
Maury Povich.
Maury Povich. I'm really proud of my live. I'm proud of my live audience to come on there and putting the posts up there before we leave. Cece's gonna put up your posts and read them. But that y'all came up with the answer that I was looking for. This is not just on the blame of the officer. This problem was the whole system. The system was wrong. Nobody stayed outside for a minute to even see if he was coming in there. Police work day shift, evening shift, night shift. You could have stayed the house out. Could have waited till in the morning. If you'd have stood a stake out, you'd have known the boy go to work at 9 o'clock. Or he got to drop his kid off at 7. If you'd have put any effort into this, you'd have known that. Oh, y'all out there that rob, pillage, and plunder, you know we look at stuff first. Don't just run up over there. If I'm going to rob the boys, the stick-up boys been looking at you for 2 weeks before they come stick you up. They know where the stash is. They go take it to the alley. All right, punk, go in the alley, get your shit. How they know it's in the alley? Because they've been watching you.
Right.
Everybody put some effort into it. They ain't put nothing into it. And it wasn't even a no-knock warrant. It was a turnkey warrant. I ain't never seen him. I see him hit the door with the blinky. I ain't never seen him unlock it with a key. Who's the skunk that gave him the key?
Exactly.
If they opened it with a key, skunk. You feel me?
Sugar Mama said we don't know those 3 seconds he might have realized and may have been trying to drop the gun. We'll never know. So sad. And yes, the whole entire system of no knocks need to go.
Needs to go.
Mm-hmm.
Needs to go.
That's what I hope. I hope this topic right here. I hope that people agree with. Sugar Mama brought it home. We're gonna go off to the next topic because she just ended it. That was a great way to end it. That's a great way to end it. The bottom line is the whole thing needs to go.
Unless a person is being held hostage or something like that, that's the only way that I can see them kicking a door in and you know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's
and the fact that they say that now in Minnesota, this thing, ever since George Floyd, this no-knock warrant was supposed to be used in exigent circumstances. I mean, as a law enforcement officer, trying to track down a murderer, that's not exigent circumstances. That's par for the course. You know, that's the job to track down dangerous people. So that's not like that's some situation that's so outrageous that you need to take outrageous measures. You know, to us it may be outrageous, but to a officer tracking down a murderer, that's a day at work.
Yeah, but you know, a lot of times we do stuff. We call it at work following directions. Yeah. Following the order. If you don't follow the order, first thing they always tell you is, well, you're supposed to do it, and then you report to human resources and tell somebody. You done already done it then.
And you know that the thing that makes this one so difficult is that everybody did the right thing. And somebody still wound up dead. Right. Everybody did the right thing. You know, the officer wasn't wrong. He followed his training. He was in fear of his life. He was faced with a man with a gun. You know, he followed his training. You know, the young man was asleep, minding his business. He wasn't out creating chaos. It wasn't even him that they was looking for. So even in situations where everybody does the right thing, sometimes they end up just like this. Somebody winds up dead. But to minimize, I mean, and don't get it twisted. This man is dead, but this officer, imagine, he's going to have to live with this for the rest of his life. I don't want people to ever think, just like Maurice said, you know, our son is a cop. So we don't want everybody to always think that cops are not human beings. You know, none of these officers go to work wanting to take a life. I don't think so. I don't think that they go in it like stuff like John Wayne trying to take a life. You know what I'm saying? But it's the reality of the nature of the work that they do that it can happen. And when you take a life, you got to live with that for the rest of your life as well. I'm sure that's not an easy thing. Sugar Mama said it was supposed to only be used in certain circumstances. Someone that signed off on this may have had their own selfish reasons for issuing. Have to get to the bottom of that also. Yes.
Yeah, sometimes their selfish reason is they want to go home. They bought them the darn piece of paper at 4 o'clock. They get off at 4:30.
Mm-hmm.
They're a judge. They signed it. They want to go home.
They don't want to. And as Gina was saying about doing surveillance and all of this, you know, some of these cases it just seem like to me that we know money is always at the heart of every issue. And I think that they just don't want to spend the money to have to put somebody on them for surveillance and all of that. It's easier to just bust on in there. You know what I'm saying? And the outcome can be so tragic, just like this. This is a tragedy for everybody involved. It's a tragedy for the young man's family. It's a tragedy for the officer. It's going to be a tragedy for his family because a lot of people, in light of the climate of the world today and what's going on with these police brutality situations, you know, a lot of people have to sit back and have this conversation like we have. It's automatically, if the cop fired his weapon and somebody died, the cop was wrong, let's protest. You know, but this is a situation where, and ordinarily, I'd be right out there rocking my T-shirt too. But this situation is not so black and white.
You know, I think about this. You ever think about that? We all of us came up with the same scenario, and guess what? Every last one of us out there, you in podcast land, you, Gina, me, CC, all of us was wrong. We all came up with the same scenario. Oh, the only reason you say have no knock is in a hostage situation. Guess what? The hostage situation is the only time they don't. They stand outside with a hostage for hours before they go in. They be standing outside. Do you want some cookies? Do you want a car?
Come outside.
Right, exactly.
She's back
right off the street.
The time when they do go busting in.
Yeah. Yeah, they always working out. When is that? But real talk, y'all. We just know that that's just wrong. That's just wrong. The system is wrong. CC is going to tell you about something to make you laugh that happened to me today. I make a couple dollars. I drive for Lyft. You know what I mean? I'm gonna tell y'all that's something else. That's gonna be my portion on Spotlight on Small Businesses. Don't sleep on driving for Uber and Lyft. You can get good money with that. So anyway, I also put in the drive with Uber. Once again, I got every credential there is: a gun carry permit, child protective service, transportation supervisor. I got clearances and stuff to go in places that people can't go. And I just now went over there and CC called and said, Lyft kept on talking about they couldn't understand my registration. Something was wrong with the registration. It's registered under CC's truck, which is a month and a half old. So can't nothing be wrong with that brand new. You know what I mean? We sent them the information when it had 7 miles on it. So we know that that's right. Then they turned around and told us today the reason why they wouldn't allow me to drive for Uber is what, see?
They say somebody else was driving under your name. Somebody else logged in under your account. Now,
somebody else has been driving under my name.
They make you do facial recognition before you can log in. He did facial recognition, and they told him that ain't you.
And I turned around and said, "Man, you can't make this up." They said, "Well, somebody said somebody on this day you was driving." Now, CC next to me, I got to calm her down sometime, you know what I mean? CC said, on what day? He's never driven. I said, mister, I have never driven. Well, somebody has done that. I have never logged on. I've never been behind the car, not a day, not an hour, not a second. I've never had it. You gave me the credentials to deliver for Uber Eats. I never delivered food. You told me I was fine with all that. I never did that. So now I'm asking about Uber driving. Well, you can't because when you were driving last time, somebody drove you to the place. Cece said, then Cece said, what to say something. I just said, I thank you. Look, thank you, sir. And I hung up. Now, when I talked to my son, who was the one that told me about driving for these agencies and stuff like that, he hit me with some other stuff. You know what he said? Now, Maurice, don't seem like it, but you got to make sure that's cleared up, because that's the same dumb shit to come back later on in your credit. Or somebody tell you, remember you got charged with drive. What?
Yep.
When we went to get Cece's car, when we went to get Cece's truck, what did they tell us, Cece? We still owe, how much did they tell us we owe Comcast?
$1,000.
Comcast, turn your shit off if you owe them $20 next month.
I'm about to say any
How the hell?
Right mind, no, Comcast is not gonna let you owe them no damn $1,000.
You know,
The first month you won't pay that bill, that cable off.
Sometimes Cece go. Y'all see the side of me, but y'all don't know she the voice of reason. Cece said $1,000 to be exact, $1,112 and some change. She said if you owe Comcast next month $20, they turn it off. You mean to tell me y'all let us owe y'all $1,000? Right. You left it on for $1,000? I said, Mister, that doesn't even make any sense. My wife's still in the background. $1,000? They can split out for $20. I said, Lord have mercy. Here we go. So then the lady just said, so y'all disputing it. We've been disputing it. We thought y'all
right.
When we disputed it the last time. And now it's still on there. This has been what? Years, ain't it? See?
Right.
It just didn't come up anymore. It hadn't come up anymore. You can't make this up. Hey, y'all. Hey, to my panel, thank you to everybody out there. Great. One more great responses to that. You know what I mean? As Cece said, we're praying for all involved. But as Sugar Mama and Gina made sure that they mentioned, and everybody out there, man, that whole system need to be scratched and started over. Figure it out. Take it.
The problem is the no warrants.
Grab it. Throw it in the trash. Don't tweak it. Nothing. Yeah, out of here. On that note, Gina, thank you for being with us tonight. I know you got a little practicing to do for your role. Don't forget, Gina. Wait a minute. To be or not to be? That is the question. See that? And I projected.
Yes.
Plus, I got my movie star outfit on.
I see.
Yeah. All right, Gina, what you got this evening?
Well, I hadn't even gotten a serious topic together. Actually, I thought about talking about the cross of God, but
there we go. Let's go.
I do want to say.
Tell me about before you go to your thing. Tell me about the life of a crossing God. Tell me about what you go through standing out in the rain. And I'm gonna say this: I don't care if you get mad for a little bit of damn money.
I just want to say
pneumonia out there.
I just want to say, as you said, I'm retired, and I got bored. I wanted to do something, you know. And when I got this job, I was like, I said, I hope I like it, you know. And I thought about the crossing guard that we knew when we were young at 144. Miss Helen, she was on Lafayette and Mosier. Or not Mosier, Lafayette and Wheeler.
Right.
And yeah, she was one of the nicest people, you know, that you ever want to meet every morning. You know, if you were having a bad day, you know, she always had a smile on her face. She always, you know, greeted you with a good morning, you know, or whatever.
Yeah, that's her.
And so what really like stuck out with me in this instance was the fact that when she left, they transferred her to another post over near Lafayette and where St. James Church is. They transferred her over there near a school over there, and she was struck by a car. And because it was such a severe injury, she lost her leg, and that ended her career. And it when I saw this news video yesterday, I was just, you know, I was like, it really brought it home about her situation, as well as how many times I've had to kind of get a little ghetto, I'm gonna say it, with some drivers that come up where I am. I mean, I've had to like basically bumper to bumper, look at them like what, and so I say that this is why I do it. Little things. This is from one of the students. This was, if you can see it, this was my Christmas card. I guess you can tell who I am on the card. Right. But I'm just saying, it's little things like this. I'm saying I remember Miss Helen very vividly.
I remember Miss Helen.
And I can or hope that I make the same impact on some child as they grow older. Because I'm sure they, believe it or not, the school that I am crossing at is on Diana Avenue and up off of Green Spring, Pimlico area.
Mm-hmm.
And there are zero African-American teachers at this school. None.
Not one?
Not one. Believe it or not, they made the principal an African-American. And she is handling the job very well. But there are no Black teachers. None. Their African-American population, as far as students, is less than 3%.
Wow. Is it a private school?
No. This is a public school. But so I say to myself, for these kids to have to see me every morning and every afternoon, I hope that I'm making an impact on their lives, at least to say that the lady that stands outside is somebody that I hope that I can meet or deal with or do business with or entertain or talk to later in life, a person like her.
Wow.
See what I'm saying? So,
Yes, I do.
so that if they see negative images of us on TV or have gotten the wrong impression from a culture that may try to instill, a negative image of us, that they will be able to take what I bring each day home and say, all of them ain't like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Not true. That's not true, mommy.
So yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Gina's not like that. That's not true,
No,
Daddy.
exactly. So I keep these little cards that they gave me for Christmas. I think it was the sweetest thing. He like Happy December. It's like that, but that was, it was like getting a gift card. You know what I'm saying? Just that. So I hope and pray that crossing guard or officer or whoever it was that was manning that station is okay, and that like C said, that lady needs to, some charges need to be brought against her for real. Because I can say for sure, and we all know, had it been,
it would have been locked up on the scene.
Would have been in jail.
Yeah, they'd have been locked up.
And the whole nine. Okay, so let's not fool ourselves here. You know,
And let's also let's just take another lesson from this. You know, Gina's here and Gina's a crossing guard. And I just say to just be mindful when you come in the school zone. The signs are posted. It tells you to slow down, you know, and people think that they just there just to be there. You know, slow down. Slow down when you coming through a place where you know
exactly.
children, or don't come flying through there acting like some bad out of hell, you know. And it's so funny that you say you remember your crossing guard, and crossing guards are some of those. That's one of those thankless jobs. They some of those unsung heroes. It just made me think about when you said that. It made me think about when I was a kid in elementary school. I was a child that had to catch the bus to school at a very young age alone. And my mother would take me to Northern Pennsylvania and put me on the number 7 bus. And I would catch that bus and get off to stop after Dolphin Street down there, right before you get to Martin Luther King. I went to school
Mm.
right there. And the crossing guard was there to put me across the street. That was our system. My mother put me on a bus, and the crossing
And
guard
that's a
got me
busy
off
street.
and put me across the street every day. That was our routine. And I couldn't have been no more than 7, 8 years old.
Wow, that's a busy street.
Yeah, right there we had our system. The bus driver, my mother put me on, sat me at the front with the bus driver. The bus driver made sure I didn't miss my stop. And when the bus driver opened the door, the crossing guard got me off the bus and put me across the street, made sure I went to school.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Crossing guards are really in our story. You know,
Yeah.
I think about something. I just had to write something down because I didn't have my paper with me. I had to text it to myself. I want to make sure that we never downplay positions. We never downplay jobs. We never downplay anything. But I'm going to change the topic a little bit about this. First of all, shout out to the governor who's made a big deal about nurses. You know what I mean? Shout out to the governor for making a big deal about volunteers and people in the healthcare, which me and CC are. We're retired from that field. Everywhere, hands up, hands up, hands up, hands up, hands up to all these people that's out there on the front line. Now that being said, let's get that out the way. It's getting real suspect now with this Black History shit. This Black History Month shit is getting real. You know, people go up and give you these conspiracy theories. Well, they gave it to you in February, and it's why it's only 28 days. You feel me? And then you turn back around and you say, you want to take a week of it to recognize the mental health workers and the people in healthcare. Now, wait a minute. Now, I thank you for recognizing me. We gave you a salute, but that's some bullshit. Don't fall prey to these games, these ploys and stuff, y'all. You only get 1 month that you actually recognize this and accept it. Don't let nobody take a day from it. Yeah, we gotta make sure. Isn't that something? We're gonna make sure we're gonna make this a holiday. The first from the 7th to the 14th of February is gonna be mental health worker. No, it's not. Now I wish it was too. But make it in March. Y'all got 11 months to have all these goddamn things. The pandemic has been going on for 2 years. For 2 years, the pandemic's been going on. Now all of a sudden in February, you decide that you're going to make a week for it? That's some bullshit. Stop falling for that. That's some bullshit.
I was listening to Morgan Freeman last night, and he said he was talking to Mike Wallace, and apparently Morgan Freeman had said he wants people to stop celebrating Black History Month. So Mike Wallace asked him why, and he said because it highlights us as if we are not Americans. And
wow.
He said, well, what do you mean by? He said, okay. He said, when is White People Month?
Wait a minute. Let me answer that. Let me answer it. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. One more time. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Go ahead.
He said, I mean, Mike Wallace almost choked, right, when he asked him that question. He said, okay. He said, well, if you can't answer that, he says, okay. So what? He said, what religion are you? He said, Jew. He said, well, when is Jewish holiday month? And Mike Wallace said, well, there isn't a Jew. He said, okay. So because we're all Americans, why can't we all be equal? Why do we get 29, 28 days to celebrate? Why can't we celebrate all the time like you do?
Yeah.
Because we're Americans. And I was after I listened to it, I'll send it to you when I finish. After I listened to it, I was like, he's got a point.
It's a valid point.
Wow. Why does it Black history start with us being slaves? We don't have slaves before that. Black history starts when we came over on ships. We were born on the ships. That's when our legacy started. That was the first thing we did, was got our ass whipped on a ship and was cleaning people's floors. That's where it started. How about hell no?
Hell
I always remind people that. I say it all the time. Christopher Columbus was in the middle of the damn ocean, standing out in the middle of the ocean on 3 ships. He was waving to an Indian on Plymouth Rock, Takahe, Takahe. And they told us he discovered America. And wait a minute. How the hell he discovered America if he out in the ocean and the Indians standing there? But I got 100. I got that right, Ma. You're a smart boy. You're a good boy. I'm the dumbest damn fool in the world.
And I went right along with you, Maurice.
Yeah, you was in the class. You got 102. Yeah, you got 102.
That's what we was taught.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Just some of this just don't make any sense how we keep getting tricked.
And we
keep getting tricked
because we were taught it, we believed it. You know
That's
what I'm
right.
saying?
We was told it was right though.
We were told it was
all
right.
wanted to be right. Adam, where are you at? Adam, God asked Adam. He said, I'm over here in the cave, God. He said, why are you in the cave? He said, because I'm naked. Because I'm naked. Everybody say, yeah, well, Eve got him to eat the apple, and that's when God found out. No. Adam told on his damn self. He wasn't naked in January. He wasn't naked in February, March, April, May. Here he is in July. He hiding in the cave. You wasn't naked the first 200 years. Now all of a sudden you're naked. You dumb bastard. You told on yourself. So God said, when Cookie came down here, hey Gina, you just missed it. Cookie came down, said, strutted down here, want some attention, peed on the floor right in front of me. She ain't never did that. Because I've been home so much, I'm usually out working. But because I've been a little sick, I've been home. So she wanted all this attention. And I'm giving her the wrong stuff to eat. Cece keep telling me don't give her this. And I sneak her this chicken, the ham. And I'm giving her too much. So she's so spoiled. She wants some attention out of me. So she came down here, peed in front of me to get some attention. And I said, Cookie, what you doing? As soon as she peed, you know what she did? Ran under the table. Where's she usually at, y'all? In my lap. Run around.
Right up there in your lap. Yep.
God said, since now you Adam, since you know that you naked, from now on, whenever you do wrong, you will run and hide. That ain't our stuff. That's biblical. God said that. When you do something wrong now, when the police come, what you do? Run and hide. Mama asks you, run and hide. Whatever you do, what the dog do, run and hide. It's natural.
Yeah.
Run and hide. You feel me? You did something. Some of these things that are going on, y'all, are just wrong. No knock warrant, everybody. It's wrong. It ain't rocket science. It's wrong. Having a month having a month to celebrate a race such as that, excuse me, it's just wrong. The way Morgan Freeman just said, I never thought of it this way. I'm mad because they want to take 7 days. Now I'm with Morgan Freeman. Take the whole damn month. I don't want nothing. You should tell me that I should
want the whole year like y'all got.
Yeah, like a whole year like y'all do.
That's right.
That's wrong. That's wrong. If you can come over there and you go off and tell me that 64% of the NFL is black people and 0.0.0.1 is coaches, 1%. What's wrong with 1? That's wrong. You worked on a situation where they had 3. Now you're down to 1, and you talk about you improved on it. No, you didn't. It's wrong.
No, you didn't. Nope.
No, you didn't. It's wrong. I love Simply Us's form, and more than that, I love our audience. You know what I mean? I love our audience and stuff like that doesn't fall for it. You can't trick these people. These people over there posting some stuff and talking about it, and they come. You ain't tricking them. You ain't tricking them. You can have an opinion. You know, we're gonna get up out of here. We just want to make sure that we stay steadfast on what we're talking about. Our commitment to excellence. That's keeping the podcast going. But y'all, real talk. You don't have to watch Simply Us's podcast. But you gotta get you some information from somewhere. I'm going to tell y'all something else. I went down there, CC, myself, and Tiffany. First of all, thank you, Bunny and all. Thank you for the tickets, Gina. We really appreciate them. We really appreciate them. We really appreciate it. Oh, yeah, plus arena players, I didn't get to talk about this last time. They got some cookies down there that's good as shit. Them damn cookies, Gina's to die for. Gina ain't tell y'all because she trying to buy them all herself. Yeah. There you go. That's CC's gift from the Lion King. She made sure she got the girls club some Lion King bags and stuff. All right, y'all. Without further ado, closing thoughts, CC.
Don't forget your random acts of kindness, but just like Maurice said, and in the words of one of my favorite shows is NCIS New Orleans, Dwayne Pride. Go out and learn things. He always says that. Now go out and learn things. Go. Sometimes don't just go for the okie doke, y'all. Don't just believe it because somebody said it. You know, the one thing, just like everybody on this show, we're opinionated. Have an opinion. Ask some questions. Find out, get you some information. But don't just go on the fact that just because somebody told you. Somebody told all of us that Christopher Columbus discovered America. But somebody also told us that there was an Indian standing on Plymouth Rock. You know what I'm saying? So we have to, you have to question some of these things, and don't be afraid to question things that don't make sense. You know, because that's the only way that we can facilitate change is if we ask questions. You know, that's right. Don't let nobody tell us that as much as we have accomplished, as much as we have contributed, that we only deserve 28 days out the year. We should celebrate our beautiful blackness every day of every year because we have contributed so much to making this great country this great country. So, you know, don't, that's just what I'll say in closing. Don't always fall for the okie doke. Yeah, you can't try to be the new cookie.
Yeah, sugar mama.
Ask questions and don't believe things that don't make sense. And don't let people instill it into your children that it's wrong to ask questions. You know, that's the only way that we grow and we prosper is if we ask those hard questions.
Thank you, C. Gina Lee, closing thoughts.
I can't even say anymore after that. That was perfect. That was perfect. Do something that will facilitate change. That's what she said it. That's it. Do something that'll facilitate change. Research, look it up, talk about it, do it. Do something. Do something. Do
Hey,
something positive that will facilitate change.
On that note, I'll leave you with something my brother Arnie Barney used to say. We were standing over there at the zoo. We were sitting there, we was looking at the monkeys and stuff. I said, "You ready to go?" He said, "Nah, Jack, I'm busy. I'm doing something." So I said, "Come on, man, we gotta go." "Nah, Jack, I'm busy. I'm doing something." "What you doing?" I said, "What you doing?" He said, "Man, I'm sitting there waiting for that damn monkey to turn into a man." Because they said the man was a monkey, stood over there. I'm waiting, standing right here. So I've been here an hour and a half. He ain't changed in the shit. So anytime somebody go off and tell y'all we was a man, we start off as a monkey and we dropped our tail and all that, that's some other bullshit. Hey, y'all, hands up to a good show. Hands up to a good show. Hey, y'all, I like the way Gina said it after CC finished with that. It's hard to improve on excellence. On that being said, Mama, may the work I've done speak for me. May the life I've lived speak for me. When I'm resting in my grave, oh Lord, may they all say, may the service we give on these podcasts speak for me. Hands up. Hey, everybody out there, thanks again. We see you tomorrow night at 6:45 once again. Please, y'all, keep on sharing this. Please keep on tuning in. And please just be somebody important. Be yourself. Y'all know who I am. I'm Party Marty. It's simply